Hello everyone, we are at Beyond the Formula. Let's continue conic sections with circles. So everyone knows what a circle looks like, right? But how does mathematics define a circle? How does mathematics define a circle? So if I say we have a circle here, with radius r, suppose center C. So a circle is not just a round shape. Circle is not just a round shape, but it is what? It is the set of all points. It is set of all points satisfying one condition. What is that condition? Now what is the condition? If I say I have point P1 here, I have P2 here, I have P3 here, and dash many points, suppose Pn here. Now what is the condition here? That all these points will be at a fixed distance from this center, and that distance will be called as r, right? Or in other words, every point on the circle is at equidistant from the center, right? So this fixed distance is called what? Is called radius of circle, and the fixed point is called center of circle, right? Now let's move to the mathematics part. Suppose I have a circle here with center, coordinates h, k, and radius as r. Now what are the fixed parameters here? Fixed parameters is center of circle with coordinates h, k, and radius of circle with r units, right? Now what do we know? How to find the equation? So we know what? Take a general point anywhere. Suppose I take P, x, y. Anywhere, you can take anywhere this point, right? What is the one thing that will remain constant is this distance, right? The distance between C and R will be C and P, sorry. The distance between C and P will be R always, right? So we know what? Cp equals R. Now using distance formula, we can say what? X minus h square plus y minus k square equals r, right? Squaring both the sides, we get x minus h whole square plus y minus k whole square equals r square, right? Which is the equation of circle. Right? Now let's take a special case. What happens when center C is at origin? What happens when center C is at origin? So we have h equals k equals 0, right? Or C as 0, 0. So how this circle will look like? This circle will look like this, with a center at origin and radius as r, right? So what is the equation now? X square plus y square equals r square, because h and k are 0 now. So this is the equation of circle with center at origin and radius as r units, right? Now we have already seen in conics that hyperbola, parabola, ellipse are all part of conic, right? Now, how do we relate circle with the conic? How do we relate circle with the conic? We have already seen that in a conic, SP by PM equals E, right? Which is eccentricity, right? And eccentricity in case of circle, E equals 0, right? So I asked in the previous video, I asked a question, right? That for E to be 0, where should the directrix of the circle lie, right? Nothing here. The solution to that question, we have SP by PM equals 0, right? For this to be true, either SP should be 0 or PM should tend to infinity, right? Either SP should be 0 or PM should tend to infinity. Now what is SP? S was the focus here in the case of circle. S was what? Focus. In case of circle it is center. In case of circle it is center, right? And P was general point, right? So in case of circle we have distance SP as radius, and so what? SP is not equal to 0, right? So for E to be 0, what we have? PM should tend to infinite, right? Which implies what? Which implies that the directrix of circle is at infinity. What is the location of directrix of a circle? It is at infinity, right? So a circle is simply the special case where eccentricity is 0. So what we can conclude is the equation of a circle isn't a formula. Do remember, right? It is simply mathematical translation of a simple idea that every point on the circle, or it is the locus, the circle is the locus of all the points that is at the same distance from its center. Correct? Thanks.